Hey, fam. So, to everyone watching live and everyone watching the replay, hello, hi. Happy hump day. It's the kickoff of our corporate heat summer, and I am so excited because I want every single person watching this to know one thing, and that is that you already have what corporations need. You aren't starting from zero, okay? If you have a business, then you're not starting from the ground up. You're starting way ahead, right? Excuse me. So, we're going to focus today on translation. So, just like if you're watching like a telenovela and you've got the subtitles, oftentimes people who are fluent in a language will sit and say, like, that caption isn't matching what they're actually saying, but it's translating it so it makes sense to the people who don't understand the language. And it's the same thing when it comes to getting corporate clients, right? You're simply translating your B2C language over to B2B. So let's start out, and this is a quick 30-minute session. So we're going to go quick, we're going to go fast. There is a workbook that is available. It looks like this. You'll see, there we go, it looks like that. So you will see inside the portal, there is a new class called Corporate Heat. All of our trainings that replays are available will be inside that portal, along with any workbooks or resources will be dropped in that portal as well. So if you don't already have the workbook and you're watching the replay, hit pause and download the workbook. But if you're here live, that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. No need to stress about it at all. All right, so let's jump in. There we go. As usual, we're going to start off with just a cleansing breath. We're not going to do our full meditation or our full breath work, but we're just going to do one deep cleansing breath. So close your eyes and loosen up your body, drop your shoulders, relax your jaw. Before we start, I just want to take a moment together because this pivot can feel scary, and that's okay because we can tackle scary things. Scary just means we're standing at the edge of something that is completely important to us. So let's do one deep cleansing breath in through our nose and out through your mouth. All right. It's time to build upon what you've already built, and you are more than ready. So let's get started. Okay. So the whole point of this 30 minutes is to help you see that what you've built, the skills, the results, the thing that you already are doing is speaking in corporate language. By the end of our session, you're going to know exactly what you do, stripped of how you've been talking about it in B2C language. And you'll have started the translation into language that makes corporate buyers and decision makers sit up and be like, "Oh, okay, I know what she's selling. I know what she's putting down, and I'm ready to pick it up." All right. So let's start simple. What you actually do. I'm going to ask you three questions, and they're here on the screen, and I want you to write down the answers. This is only for you. This isn't for Instagram. This isn't for your AI tool. This is specifically for you, and I want you to answer these without using AI. Okay, just answer from here. So, question one is, what's the core thing you do for clients right now? Just keep it simple. I help service providers get organized. I teach founders how to hire. I fix HR systems. I help business women rest. We're not complicating it. Okay. We're not selling it. I just want you to write down what it is that you do. Go ahead and do that right now. tunes going, Robbie. Think. Okay, so once we have our first question of what's the core thing that you do for clients right now, then we need to go to our second question. And our second question is, what do your clients actually have that's different after they finish working with you? So we're not talking about the nice to haves. We're talking about what is the real output, the real outcome. Do they have more revenue? Do they have less chaos, better systems, happier parents? Whatever it is that the end result of your service provides for your clients, I want you to take a minute and jot those down. Next question, and the last question that you need to be ready to answer to make the pivot is, what are you known for? So what do people say you are really, really good at? This is where you're asking yourself, if someone were describing me to a friend, what would they say I'm really amazing at, or I excel at? And I want you to note that it doesn't necessarily have to be directly linked to what your business delivers, okay? It doesn't have to be directly linked to what your business delivers. So go ahead and answer that question. And if you haven't fully answered questions 1 and 2, question 1 is, what's the core thing you do for your clients right now? Question 2 is, what do your clients actually have that's different after working with you? And question 3 is, what are you known for and what do people say you're really good at? So answer those 3 questions. I'm going to give you an extra 2 minutes to wrap up any loose end answers before we move on to our next step. We have 1 more minute left. All right. So now that you have your 3 answers to our first part, let's talk a little bit about the translation part, the actual language shift. So here's the deal. Individual clients and corporate clients speak different languages. So they're saying the same thing, but they're using different ways to say it. Individual clients, they want to feel supported. They want transformation. They want you to understand their struggle. All of your marketing tends to be around emotion-based output. right? We use a lot of emotional language when it comes to B2C clients. The corporate clients, what they care about is bottom line, profitability, efficiency, risk mitigation, scalability. They want to know what's the business impact. So you're not having to change what you do and what you offer. We're simply reframing it in business language. So as you can see here, it's the same work, just different language. So these are some words that I would say, think about translation. So here's essentially how it works. Let's turn that down. It's jamming in the background here. There we go. So here's how it works. Instead of saying like, I help service providers get their life back, the corporate version would be, I increase operational efficiency. There we go. I increase operational efficiency and reduce administrative overhead for service-based businesses. It's exact same thing, right? Instead of saying, I teach you systems so you're not drowning, I would say in corporate speak, I implement scalable business processes that improve profitability and reduce founder burnout. So you see the difference? It's the same exact output, it's just different language to describe it. All right. So now what I want you to do is I want you to take your answer from our first question in the first part, what you actually do. I want you to take your answer and reframe it using these corporate language triggers. So take a look at these words. These are words that are considered like holy grail in the corporate space. So in place of efficiency, you could also use like optimize or streamline. In place of profitability, you could use revenue or cost reduction. Instead of scalability, if you don't want to use scalability, you could use growth or market position. And then for systems, you could use systems, software, AI. If it's specifically AI related, just say AI. For risk mitigation, I would say you could use risk mitigation or compliance or stability. And essentially, for results, you can use words like productivity, output, or team performance. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to jot down and rewrite your core offer from question number one in corporate language. Be sure that you're using one or more of these words. Now, you don't want it to be like jargon, jargon, jargon synergy, right? You don't want it to be where the sentence makes no sense because you're too worried about stuffing words in. Instead, what I want you to do is to just pick one word that you feel like, ooh, this actually relates to what I do and try to work it in. And if you can do more, that's great, but don't worry about it. Okay? So I'll give you 2 minutes to do that.
You say you like the wind blowing through your hair. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun. Say you wanna hit the highway while the engine roars. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. The Texas sun. Oh, yeah. Texas sun, caressing you from Fort Worth to Amarillo. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun dips low. Texas sun, Texas sun, oh girl. Texas sun. When I'm far from home, them cold winds blow. Stuck down somewhere, folks are gone. 'Cause you keep me nice and you keep me warm. Wanna feel you on me, can't wait to get back there again. Texas sun.
Hey, so take a quick look at what you've written down and make sure it has at least one of these words or one of the replacement words I gave you in that sentence. If you want, you can share it in the group, in the community, and I will happily take a look and give feedback on your what you do statement. All right. Okay. So here's something that I know to be true. Once you are able to determine what it is that you do, you then need to be able to essentially fill in the blanks, right? Essentially filling in all the blanks. So here's how we do that. So the first part of it is, who do you work with? So what kind of business do you want to work with? Remember, corporate client can mean everything from a construction company to Starbucks to Target to a venture capitalist firm. There are so many things that incorporate the word corporate. So you really want to try to narrow it down as much as you can possibly do so. So by knowing the kind of business that you want to support. So I want to support finance companies, or I want to support companies that have less than 200 employees. Whatever characteristic works for you. We'll dig deeper into this in our 1 hour session. But whatever type of company works best for you, I want you to be able to say, I work with this type of company, right? So I work with financially related companies with less than 200 employees. To solve a specific problem. And the solve of a specific problem, that is the what you do, right? That is the what you do. So I help service providers increase their operational efficiency and reduce administrative overhead, right? The next step after you've reworked who you want to work with and what you do, then you need to focus on your proof, right? Proof is everything. Essentially, you're just taking the credentials you already have and making it work for corporate. And I'm sure that you are likely right now worried that you don't have enough corporate experience. If you've never worked in a 9 to 5 or in an office, or maybe you've worked part time, but you've never worked in like a proper corporate structure, that's okay because corporate clients don't care about your job title. All they care about is what you can do and what are your results. What have you built? Who have you worked with? What problems have you solved? That is your credibility, right? That is what you want to focus on. So that creates a translation opportunity, which is number two here, which is I've blank, which is proof of what you've done. So showing your real outcomes, showing your problem or showing the problems you solved, showing your numbers, showing your track record, paid and unpaid, right? So instead of saying I've been a solopreneur for 5 years, you would say I've successfully built and scaled a service-based business from 0 to 100,000 annually, managing 15 clients across multiple industries. You see how different that sounds? Instead of saying, I work with female fund founders, you would say, I've supported founders in scaling businesses across industries with a focus on sustainable growth strategies, right? You already have the track record. It just needs to be framed in a language that makes sense to the corporate space. So I want to give you some time. What's one result that you are proud of, and how would you describe that in business language? So, what's one result you're proud of? Your revenue, a client retention, a system you built, a problem you solved, maybe Maybe it's a change in your clients' lives that you can see scaling at a bigger level. And then how would you describe that in business language? So go ahead and give you 2 minutes to think and write on this. We are almost towards our last step.
Texas sun. You say you like the wind blowing through your hair. Come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun. Texas sun. Oh, baby, you're so gorgeous. How about you and me? Take a little trip in the big body. Take a ride with me, babe. You by my side. How does it sound? You and I. Oh, girl. Take a ride with me, babe. You by my side. How does it sound? You and I. Baby, oh. Take a ride with me, babe. You by my side. How does it sound? You and I.
How much better can I show my love for you than say I do, I do, I do. I do, I do, I do.
All right. So let's go into our last part of our positioning statement. So, part one is I work with, and then what kind of business to solve what kind of problem. So, that's the what do you do. Part two is credentials. So, what proof or outcome do you have that shows your results? All right. Step three is essentially telling us why it matters. What's the point? Why does it matter? Okay. So I work with financial businesses that have less than 200 employees to grow and scale their HR systems. I've scaled 13 independently owned businesses with HR systems in the last 12 months. This matters because they are able to avoid going to court for unemployment. I'm literally doing this off my dome. For unemployment cases, they are able to reduce the amount of times they have to go to court for unemployment cases, right? Or I work with scaling tech companies to implement tax systems that reduce turnover and improve retention. Or I've successfully designed therapy programs for 15 plus startups, ranging from Series A to growth stage and funding. This matters because sustainable team growth directly impacts profitability and scalability. So essentially, what you're doing is you're just saying, why does this matter? What's the point? What's the point? So, what I want you to do, and this one's going to be a little bit longer because I want you to start off with looking at your statement one of what you do, move into your statement two, which is your proof, and then write out the why it matters. And make sure that each one has at least one of these trigger words. Now, this isn't going to be your final version. Your final version will come after we've done our 2-hour class. This is just to get you started and get you thinking about it. Okay, there we go. So you already have statements one and two. Let's take the next 4 minutes, nope, 2 minutes. Let's take the next 2 minutes to decide what's going to be our statement three, but make sure that they're linked to one another.
Shivering stars drift around in the sky. I lie calm under their watchful eyes. In my heart I can feel it and why that wherever I go I'll find my way home. That wherever I go I'll find my way home. Where the fair winds and follow and see.
Okay, so take a look. Here is what you have created, right? You just looked at what you've been doing all along and set it in a way that makes sense to people who have the budgets to pay in a corporate sense. You're not worrying about becoming someone else. You're just speaking a language that corporate buyers are going to understand. And this statement that you did today is your foundation. Everything else this summer that we cover, whether it's positioning, outreach, closings, contracts, all of that builds on this statement. So here's your homework for the next week. I want you to live with this translation. Okay? Say it out loud till it feels natural to you, till it rolls off your tongue as easily as your B2C side does. And ask yourself as you say it out loud, does it feel natural? Does it feel true? Does it feel like you? Because if not, then make adjustments. Because ultimately, it still needs to feel like you. You're not selling out. You're just simply changing how you say things so that other people understand it is necessary for the corporate space. Okay? All right. So, just a quick recap. The journey we walked through today, naming it, translating it, anchoring it. You're going to see these three pop up a lot all throughout the summer. Everything we do is going to have some essence of naming it, translating it, and anchoring it because we are not reinventing the wheel here. We are taking what you've already created and we're making it into something that can be seen in corporate. Don't forget, next week we have, well, really, it's more like the week after next, but on the 16th of June at 12 p.m. Eastern, we have our Building Your Corporate Offer 1-hour workshop. This is where your positioning statement is going to become an actual offer, and we're going to base it off of a lot of the offers you already have, so make sure you bring those with you to the class. But just a reminder that this session is live only, so the replay is only for premium members. So if you want the information, you have two choices. You can show up live at 12 p.m. Eastern on the 16th, or you can upgrade to premium access so that you can automatically have it. You should come to premium anyways because we're a lot of fun over here. All right. So I will see you all June 16th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to drop your statements into the community for everyone else to read and give feedback on, because I think community is really going to help you see some of the blind spots that maybe you aren't seeing now. So good luck to all of you, and I'll see you on the 16th.